Welcome back to NTV News First Edition. This week, the community of Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia, was shaken by an unimaginable tragedy. The deaths of several people, many of them children, in a shooting that has left the entire country reeling. It is the kind of loss that feels impossible to understand. And while the people of Tumbler Ridge begin to mourn, Canadians everywhere are grieving alongside them. Well, to help us navigate this collective grief and understand what people may be experiencing right now, we are joined by Dr. Janine Hubbard in this week's Get Psyched. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thanks. Absolutely. Listen, we are experiencing a national mourning, a national moment of trauma and grief, and I've described it kind of as a loss of innocence, because in addition to just being horrific in terms of details and loss, we have some or a lot of us have very firm beliefs as to what it means to be a Canadian. And that includes ideas that we don't have mass shootings and schools are safe places to send our kids. That's stuff that happens elsewhere, not here in Canada. So to have something that fundamental shaken for us is really troubling. And there are so many similarities and things that people can relate to here in Newfoundland and Labrador, the small communities. Anyone who sent their kids off to school this morning, there are so many ways in which people can relate. And so for some, they are finding that it is really impacting them. And they're kind of questioning, going, but I don't actually know anyone, but I'm really feeling impacted by that. And that is part of that collective trauma. And it's okay to reach out and ask for help if that feeling persists. And in the meantime, we are very much sending our love to BC and to everyone immediately involved, but looking out for each other over the next few days. We're all feeling pretty heavy.
We're certainly feeling pretty heavy. I mean, we watched the Prime Minister of our country, choke up when he was passing along his condolences to Tumbler Ridge. So it's touching every Canadian, isn't it?
We're going to see if I can get through this tonight without, a few tears. And it is really important because that shows compassion, that shows humanity. And it also shows genuine emotions to our kids and models the look. We don't hide away from scary emotions or hard emotions. This is something that's unimaginable and really hard to kind of wrap our heads around. So there is going to be a lot of heavy emotions, and that's okay.
You know, and you're touching on this already, but these tragedies shake our sense of safety, don't they? Especially for our children. So how do we talk to ourselves maybe about this, and how do we talk to our kids to reassure them that they're going to be fine when they head to the classroom?
Absolutely. Well, best advice I can give is please keep sending your kids to school. Keeping their routines as normal as possible is going to minimize some of the impact and allow them to process with their friends, with their teachers, in ways that feel age appropriate and developmentally normal. But the standard, listen, ask, I don't care, even the really little ones, ask, hey, what do you know? What have you heard? What questions do you have? How are you feeling? And whatever those feelings are, validate them. And that's why I'm saying it's okay to show tears in front of your kids and go, you know what? I'm feeling really sad about this too. This is something that, I'm finding really scary, but we'll find ways to cope together. What are some ideas you might have? What are some ideas that I might have to help us, try to work through this? And it's really hard for really young kids to understand just how statistically unusual this is. So continuing to reassure of safety as best you can, even if in the back of your mind, you're feeling a little shaken.
Well, as you said, these sorts of things, if you can say it that way, don't usually happen in Canada. So I even had a conversation with my daughter, she's in high school, about how often schools do safety drills. And apparently they do them fairly often.
And for many, that can provide that reassurance. It's the, okay, you know what? My school feels safe to me because I know that we have the emergency protocols in place. So again, being there, being reminded of it. And for teenagers, I think one of the biggest things you can do is, again, have those conversations. How are you doing? But in particular, checking out where are you getting your information sources, and really being able to correct any misperceptions that might be there, and really helping to guide a little bit, because there can be some, phone use and support from friends that's really helpful, and there can be some that's really harmful.
Dr. Janine Hubbard, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks.